Most people buy sunglasses the wrong way, either cheap gas station pairs or overpriced designer frames. But in between those extremes is where the real value lives. The sunglasses market is exploding, and underrated brands are quietly dominating with better quality, smarter pricing, and unique designs. In this video, we're counting down 5 underrated sunglasses brands that are absolute hidden gems in 2026, and why they could completely change the way you buy eyewear. Let's start with the first brand. Here's a business origin story that sounds like it was written for a Netflix documentary. It's 2012. A guy named Chuck Mumford is skiing in the mountains, loses his goggles on a slope, finds a pair of Army surplus military wraparound glasses for almost nothing, spray paints them neon, and starts selling them out of a briefcase at ski parties. That's the word they actually use internally, briefcasing. Just walking into parties and selling sunglasses out of a suitcase like some kind of discount Bond villain. That became Pit Viper. By 2022, Pit Viper had crossed $40 million in annual revenue. They once made $2.5 million in a single day after a restock drop. Jason Momoa wore them in the Minecraft movie. Patrick Mahomes and Rob Gronkowski are fans. Their marketing is intentionally aggressively absurd. The website looks like it was built in Windows 98. The product descriptions are full of ridiculous humor, and their social media is pure meme content. And it works, because their audience eats it up. So why is this relevant to a video about sunglasses for women? Because the Y2K comeback and festival culture have pulled Pit Viper directly into female fashion territory. Their bold, oversized wraparound silhouette is exactly the 80s and 90s energy that Gen Z is obsessed with right now. They have over 880,000 Instagram followers and nearly 350,000 on TikTok. And those aren't all ski bros. Coachella crowds, music festival lineups, vintage fashion boards on Pinterest. Pit Viper keeps showing up in places that have nothing to do with skiing. The glasses themselves are built to actually survive real life. Polarized lenses, adjustable fit, frames tough enough to be sat on, run over, or shoved in a bag without breaking. That's not marketing language. That's something the brand has built into its DNA from the very beginning, because Chuck started with military surplus hardware. And the price? Between $35 and $85, depending on the style. Their most recent marketing campaign, an AI-driven campaign launched ahead of the Super Bowl, reached 10.3 million viewers in 4 weeks with a 92% video completion rate on Meta. A 92% completion rate for a sunglasses ad. That tells you everything about how locked in their audience is. The goldmine factor here isn't just the product, it's the origin story. This is a brand that turned Army surplus eyewear into a cultural phenomenon, and most people still have no idea it exists. But Pit Viper leans hard into chaos and loud branding. The next brand went in the complete opposite direction, quieter, cleaner, and built around something most sunglasses brands completely ignore: fit. Most sunglasses brands are built in a boardroom. IC was built on a beach. IC Sunglasses is a family-owned, family-operated brand out of San Clemente, California. That's a small coastal town between Los Angeles and San Diego. And the brand looks exactly like you'd imagine. Surf-inspired, relaxed, and genuinely beautiful in the way that coastal California things tend to be. But here's what makes IC more than just an aesthetic. They produce small, limited batches of handmade frames, not mass-manufactured at scale, but intentionally limited. Each pair comes with polarized lenses, 100% UV protection, anti-scratch coating, and hydrophobic lenses that repel water. That last feature alone matters enormously if you're actually wearing these at the beach or on the water. The style works everywhere, from a paddleboard to a rooftop bar, from the farmer's market to a music festival. The design language is surf culture, translated into something that works in any environment, which is harder to pull off than it sounds. But here's the angle that keeps coming up in TikTok content about ICA: fit. If you have a smaller face, a narrow nose bridge, or you've struggled your entire life to find sunglasses that don't slide down your face or look comically oversized, IC keeps showing up as an answer. There's an entire underserved niche of women who have given up on sunglasses shopping because nothing fits properly. ISEA is solving a real problem, and the community has noticed. The brand has become a quiet recommendation passed between friends rather than a paid placement. And that kind of organic word of mouth is worth more than any ad campaign. And here's the retailer signal that means something. Anthropologie carries the IC oval wire sunglasses in their online store. Anthropologie doesn't stock random brands. They curate for a very specific fashion-forward customer. And when a sunglasses brand makes that cut, it tells you everything about where this brand sits in terms of taste and credibility. The pricing is comparable to Knockaround, affordable but not cheap feeling. The vibe is authentic, the origin story is real, and the product genuinely performs. This is a brand that feels underground, but is already on the radar of the retailers that matter. That's the definition of a gold mine that hasn't peaked yet. ISEA proves you don't need huge marketing budgets to build a loyal audience. But the next brand figured out something even more powerful: how to make affordable sunglasses feel personal. Let me ask you something. If I told you Matthew McConaughey, Natalie Portman, John Mayer, Snoop Dogg, and John Legend all wore the same sunglasses brand, what price point would you guess? Whatever number you said, go lower. Knockaround was founded in 2005 in San Diego, California, by Adam Moyer, known as Ace, and it has quietly built one of the most impressive cult followings in the affordable eyewear space. GQ covered it, US Weekly covered it, The Today Show covered it, and yet pull it up at dinner and watch how many people have never heard of it. In 2020, the brand grew from $8.7 million to over $12.5 million in revenue, a 40% jump, driven largely by a surge in e-commerce during the pandemic that saw online sales spike 90% in a matter of weeks. In 2022, the brand received a growth investment from Brand Holdings, backed by consumer-focused investors. This is not a garage brand anymore. This is a serious business with serious momentum. But the real story, the one that separates Knockaround from every other affordable sunglasses brand, is the custom shop. More than 300 pre-designed combinations, plus a full custom builder where you choose your frame shape, frame color, lens color, arm color, and accent logo. Over 40 frame colors, 14 frame styles, 30+ lens options. You can build a pair of sunglasses that literally no one else on earth has, and the whole thing costs under $40. It's the kind of experience that luxury brands lock behind $300 price tags, and Knockaround just gives it to you. At scale. Without apology. Under $40. For a custom-designed UV 400 polarized pair of sunglasses with celebrity fans and a $12 million business behind it. The hook for this brand is almost too easy. Celebrities secretly wear $35 sunglasses, and you can design your own pair. That's the whole pitch, and it's completely true. What makes Knockaround a gold mine isn't just the price or the celebrity association. It's the combination of customization, quality, and community that most people in this price range aren't even attempting to build. This is a brand doing the work of a luxury eyewear house at a fraction of the cost. Knockaround mastered customization and celebrity appeal. But the next company built an even bigger business by doing something almost nobody thought was possible, growing without relying on traditional advertising at all. If Knockaround has celebrity credibility, Gooder has something more interesting, a business model that makes no sense until it makes complete sense. Gooder was founded in 2015 with one specific mission. Founder Stephen Leese was tired of watching runners deal with ugly, overpriced sports sunglasses that didn't perform. The sports eyewear market was dominated by brands charging $150 to $300 for performance glasses that looked terrible and still slid off your face the moment you started sweating. Gooder's answer: a $25 pair fully polarized, UV 400 certified, with a no-slip grip coating baked into the frame. That's it. That's the whole product strategy. By leaning entirely into community-driven branding instead of traditional advertising, Gooder grew to $41 million in annual revenue. In 2025, their online revenue alone sat at $24.1 million, with 20 to 50% growth projected for 2026. No celebrity spokespeople, no Super Bowl spots, no billboard campaigns. Just a product people genuinely love, a community that talks about it, and word of mouth that compounds over time. But here's what makes Gooder special beyond the business story: the product names. Every single Gooder model has a name that sounds like it was invented by a very creative person at 2 a.m. Amelia Earhart ghosted me. A unicorn's calamity. Approaching cult status. Flamingos on a booze cruise. These names are designed to be shared, to be screenshotted, to make someone laugh, and then immediately add something to their cart. It's one of the most underrated content strategies in retail, because customers become marketers the moment they tell someone else what their sunglasses are called. And the style is genuinely good. Pastel colorways, bold cat-eye silhouettes, and a design language that sits perfectly at the intersection of millennial and Gen Z taste. On top of all that, Gooder has built genuine sustainability credentials into the brand. 100% carbon-neutral products, partially made from recycled plastic, and a collaboration with the American Red Cross, where blood donors receive a free pair of sunglasses. That's not greenwashing. That's a brand with actual values baked into its marketing strategy. For women specifically, Gooder solves the problem of active eyewear looking athletic and clinical. These are sunglasses you'd actually wear out, that you'd actually enjoy wearing. And at $25, you can buy 3 pairs for less than one mid-range designer option. The goldmine factor. $41 million built without advertising. That's a story, and a product worth telling it with. Gooder turned community into a $41 million business. But the #1 brand on this list operates on an entirely different level of scale, and chances are you've already seen them online without realizing it. This is the one. If any brand on this list deserves the title of actual goldmine, in terms of sheer market penetration, cultural footprint, and bang for buck, it's Sojos. And there's one number that tells the whole story: 26,000 Amazon reviews. That's not a brand that got lucky with a few viral posts. That's not a flash-in-the-pan TikTok moment. That is 26,000 individual people taking the time to sit down and write out why they loved a $16 pair of sunglasses. The kind of organic trust building that luxury brands spend millions of marketing dollars trying to manufacture, and can't. Southern Living called Sojos the best designer dupe we've found online, directly comparing their styles to Gucci, Ray-Ban, and Tory Burch. Business Insider noted that the exact same silhouette worn by 3 different contestants on Love Island is available at Sojos for $16. On TikTok and Instagram, fashion creators across every corner of the platform are positioning Sojos as the go-to Celine dupe, the real version of which costs $600 or more. That contrast is the hook. $16 versus $600. And not a single person who's done a comparison review has been embarrassed by the $16 pair. So what are you actually getting? UV 400 protection, real certified sun protection, not just tinted plastic. A range of styles that covers every face shape and every aesthetic. Round, oval, cat-eye, square, vintage-inspired, modern. Tints in every color imaginable. And a price point, that means buying 3 or 4 pairs for different outfits, costs less than a single mid-range frame. That's the kind of variety that used to require a serious budget. Sojos made it accessible for anyone. The reviewers put it best, and this comes up again and again in the reviews. Styles are always very trendy, lots of compliments, and the price means you can get a few different styles for less than you'd pay for one brand name pair. That's the entire value proposition of Sojos in one sentence. And here's the cultural layer that matters. The TikTok generation has completely normalized the concept of the designer dupe. Finding the $16 version of the $600 thing isn't embarrassing anymore. It's a flex. It's proof that you're smart enough not to pay for a logo when the product itself is the same. Sojos has become the poster child of that mentality in eyewear. 26,000 reviews don't lie. Love Island contestants don't stumble onto bad sunglasses. Southern Living doesn't recommend things that don't hold up. Sojos earned every bit of its reputation through product quality at an absurd price. And the market has responded accordingly. If you walk away from this video and only research one brand, make it this one. Now go find the brand that deserves your money.